4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market in Minutes, brought to you by 3T Academy. I'm your host. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market in Minutes, brought to you by 3T Academy. I'm your host, Billy, and I'll be taking you through today's top market stories and analysis. Today's show is proudly hosted by Double Bottom Trades, where we bring you the latest in trading strategies and techniques. You think I know that by now. Before we get into this day, we're going to get some motivation from Lady A. What do you got for us, fam?
All right. This morning's motivation for, for April 4 is failure is the key to success. Each mistake teaches us something different.
All right. Losses are lessons and failures is a free education. I don't mind losses. I'll take L's all day because I'm going to get the W in the end. I like that one. Good one. Don't be scared to lose, man. It's a necessary thing. All right, good one. Let's get into this market now. Let me share my screen. Oh, I'm stopped up. You gotta love the South Carolina weather. I was not ready. Ooh, it's been life-changing, let me tell you. Put this on here so everyone can see. All right, so we'll go over the fear and greed index first. We're sitting at 55 today. It's not bad. I think we were at a 60 yesterday. As long as we stay in that neutral to greed area, there's usually plenty of volume in the market for us to trade. As long as we have press releases and some good plays. There hadn't been a lot of great press releases the last 2-3 weeks, but maybe we'll turn the corner on that and see what we get. If not, we always have the SPY that we can mess with like we have been. I know Faye made some good money yesterday. Didn't trade the SPY. I think she traded GFAI. Is that right?
Yeah,
I
did. And two others. I can't remember which ones they were.
GFA was a top bang. I think it went up to like $15 yesterday. I'd have to go back and check for sure, but it was a nice mover. Let's see what else. Get into FinViz real quick. Man, I am stopped up, y'all. Move this off. All right, so the Dow is up 327 points. The Nasdaq's down 32, and the S&P 500 is up 15. So they all seem to hit, the S&P 500 hit more of a double bottom than the rest of them, but you can see where they tried to hit that second touch of the leg before it popped up, and now they're all starting to arch. We have some doji stars forming, even a gravestone forming on the top side. Have some spinning tops over here, and a couple spinning tops over here, almost a doji on the NASDAQ. So they're all saying the same thing. I mean, they're starting to scallop to the top side. Anytime you stop seeing these jagged moves up and down and you start seeing them curl and start curling over the top, it's a sign of bearishness, but especially if you have wicks to the upside. So we're going to see how the market's going to go and see if we're going to get some pullback. I do think the 412, we should come back and test this top part of this middle of the double bottom. Plus it's the shelf of these candles and this here. So I think we'll come back and test that 411 in the market. Same thing with the Dow. We should come down and test 33.5. And 12.15 on the NASDAQ, but we'll see. Some of the ones that we're going to be watching, we was just talking about GFAI with Faye. She killed that one yesterday. You have NOGN, AMST, FRGT, BFRG, HCDI. INDO is another play. Guys can look at some oil plays. Oil plays are going to run up here soon with Saudi Arabia cutting their barrel production, and then the world kind of not taking the US dollar for oil anymore is going to be very disrupting in the oil industry. So make sure we'll watch that. From there, let's go check out the morning squawk. Actually, Dustin, let's go over the market calendar, man. What we got coming up, and then we'll go into the morning squawk.
All right. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up on my end here real quick. All right, so what do we have today? We have the factory orders, and coming out today, Tuesday, I had my list up, and then I had somebody come in and distract me.
No worries.
So the factory orders, so what the factory orders report kind of tells us is it's kind of like an economic indicator for the dollar value of goods from factories. So that gives us the factory report, and with the job openings report today, it kind of tells us how many job openings there are each month, how many workers were hired, and how many quit their jobs within that month. So those are two reports we're going to watch today, both releasing at 10 a.m. Then tomorrow we have our employment, ADP employment report, the U.S. trade balance report. Then Thursday, as usual, we have our initial jobless claims that's coming up later on this week. But the factory orders and the job openings are what we have for today.
Nice. Thank you, fam.
You're welcome.
All right. Y'all ready for Cat in the Hat and Dr. Seuss? Squawk. All right. Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. Excuse me. Diamond. The current crisis is not over yet. Jamie Dimon is here to spell everyone's relief that the banking crisis is triggered by Silicon Valley's collapse appeared to be wrapped up. As I write this letter, the current crisis is not over, and even when it's behind us, there will be repercussions from it for years to come. The JP Morgan Chase CEO, who was a key player in the response to the crisis, wrote in his annual shareholder letter, he said it's nowhere near as bad as things were in 2008 financial meltdown. Dimon's letter comes as investors seek clues about the state of financial system and its impact on banks' day-to-day business. JP Morgan helps kick off earnings season April 14. I got to disagree with some of that. And the reason I feel like that is there's things that exacerbate that. You have the world media going on. You have the vaccine and COVID going on. You have all the stuff going on in France. You have the world market coming off petrol. You have BRICS. This is things that we've never seen. So I gotta disagree. I think it's a little more severe than 2008, but that's just my opinion. There's a lot of other things that exacerbate it. It's just not the real estate and banking. Google cracks down on staples and other things. Don't tell Milton Wadhams, but Google is coming for the staplers. The tech giant is in the midst of cost cut. It slashed 12,000 jobs in January, and it's making staff in its cloud division share desks. Now, Google is cutting back on services employees balance working from the office and home with their hybrid schedules. It means slowing down the pace for replacing computers and other equipment, baking fewer muffins on Mondays, and tightly restricting how employees can get tape. And yes, staplers, we set a high bar for industry-leading perks, benefits, and office amenities, and we will continue that into the future. CFO Ruth Porat said in an email interviewed by CNBC. I cannot talk. However, some programs need to evolve for Google Works today. What was that one? Was it the swing line stapler? Remember that guy that was, oh God, I can't remember what movie that was. They kept trying to take his stapler and they moved him in the basement. All he wanted was his red swing line stapler. I do not have enough movie junkies in this room. I have to seek some.
Yeah, I'm not a
Office
movie
Space.
junkie at all. My
What is
wife is.
What was it? So I think someone said Office Space. Was that it?
Office Space.
Yeah, that was it, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, I got one in the family. Welcome, Robert. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
My fellow nerd. I love it. Let's see. Virgin Orbit's filed Chapter 11. Virgin Orbit is grounded. The rocket launch company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection Tuesday after it failed to secure a financial lifeline to keep it afloat. The filing was pretty much inevitable. It came days after CEO Dan Hart told employees that Virgin Orbit would cease operations for the foreseeable future, as CNBC previously reported. The company said it would seek a sale during the bankruptcy process. At this stage, we believe that the Chapter 11 process represents the best path forward to identify and finalize an efficient and value-maximizing sale, Hart said in a statement Tuesday. How did it get to this point? There's going to be a lot of companies going under. We've been talking about this for the last 6 months. Between the layoffs and companies going under, things are going to look a lot different when the dust settles. What's good to know? Well, it's not good to know, but good to understand what's coming. FTC orders Illumina to ditch Grail. Regulators told DNA sequencing company Illumina that it must divest cancer test developer Grail, the latest, most severe blow against a $7.1 billion acquisition. The Federal Trade Commission said the deal would hamper competition and end up hurting innovation. Illumina said it would appeal to the FTC's decision, and it expects a resolution either later this year or early next year. That's around when the company also expects to resolve its appeal of a similar European Union decision. Others have targeted the Grail acquisition as well, most notably activist investor Carl Icahn. He criticized the company for closing the deal without first getting antitrust approval. Icon launched a proxy fight and is seeking Illumina board seats while pushing the company to unwind the Grail acquisition. I don't know a lot about that one, so I'm not going to be able to speak too much about that. That's interesting. I like to dig into that just for my conspiracy side. Here it is. I don't care if you love him or you hate him. The fact that we have a former president going through this kind of shit, man, we're in some messed up times, y'all. But here we are. We got to understand it and know what we're dealing with. Surrender Day. Donald Trump, the real estate tycoon, tabloid scandal sheet. I don't know what that word. Denizen, former reality TV star and one-time president of the United States. 4 or 5, baby. Will turn himself into New York authorities Tuesday afternoon. He is the first former commander-in-chief to be charged with crimes. In this case, which was brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and stems from a hush money payout to a porn star before the 2016 election. Trump reportedly faces more than 30 counts. Are you serious, man? The fucking Clintons have 30 body counts on him. Jesus. He has commended...
Oh, don't get me on my soapbox.
Oh, Brenda, welcome in. Hey, we got all kind of boxes. We'll get on them. Don't worry. This is at least for the, let's see, my bad, I got sidetracked. He has condemned the case as a witch hunt, but also has been raising millions of dollars of it as he seeks a GOP presidential nomination next year. This, at least for the moment, is giving pause to wealthy GOP donors and fundraisers. Many on Wall Street would like to back Trump's closest rival for the nomination, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, but some worried about the incurring former president's wrath. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against that, man. It ain't happening. Love him or hate him, we got to have someone that loves this country. People don't understand when this country became an industrial, when we went through the industrial era, we became a business. And ever since then, when politicians run the country, I don't care if it's left or right, if a politician's running the country, we seem to go through some BS. When a businessman comes in and starts running the country, we had some mean tweets, but I didn't pay $8 for eggs and, have to side hustle for diapers. So it's a crazy time, man. I'd much rather have some mean tweets. I don't know about y'all, but just my personal opinion. And like I said, I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm right in the middle. I like common sense, and that's what I like to deal with. All right, so let's go check out.
Do you have any insight on McDonald's? McDonald's closing its offices ahead of the layoffs, corporate job cuts.
So they are not, I can't say too much into that. They are doing it. They're labeling it restructuring, but it's happening. It is happening. I can't speak too much on it, at least while we're recording. When we get off recording, I'll tell you more. But yes, it's happening. Gonna be some different times, y'all. Just be prepared. All right, so now that we got all that up out the way, let's go check out the SPY, man, and see what the market is actually doing. Because we can lay the best plan we want to, but if the market's not moving, there's nothing we can do. Let me just say it's trying to log in. I seen that gold. Hey, Faye, didn't gold pop like $30 yesterday? I seen it one time. It was like $2,000.
Yeah, it's back to what it started out at, 1984, 26.
So we can go back to 1984.
Yeah, me too.
That was a dope year. 1984. I was 8. Hadn't even hit the double digits yet. Couldn't tell me nothing. I ought to be 8 years old again. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get into this. And it is going slow. Here we go. All right. Sorry for such quietness. Move y'all's big heads off to the side. All right, so we can see SPY. Just like we were looking at before on FinViz, we hit that double bottom, came back down, it tested that 410.43 area, and what it did the same thing it did in the pre-market from the other day. Let me see. Let me change this. There we go. The VWAP went straight to the volume in pre-market. What time was that? Was it 8:01 p.m.? What time was that? 1 o'clock in the morning. I was just trying to see what time that VWAP moved to the upside. So what this tells me is the volume, I mean, the market's going to be bullish. I mean, if it follows the same path that it did from the other day, popped up, hit that double bottom here, and then got into a channel to the upside, we are seriously overextended, in my opinion, to the 412. I'd like for us to really come back down and touch that 410.64 again before we take this next lift off. The question is, are we going to have a lift off before we have a dump? We will have a dump at some point in time. It's just going to be, where is it going to be? This thing could go up and see 415. It might not be a day. It might take it a couple days, but it is definitely on its path to go see 415 for sure. We don't get too stretched from VWAP, so that's the plays that I'm going to be looking for today when I'm playing is anything that's stretched from the VWAP. That's it. From the top side to the bottom side, it's just going to be puts and calls. So let's see why it stopped at 412. Zoom this out a little bit. All right. So I know there's a lot going on in here. I don't want to take all these lines off because I need them. All right. So we came up, we hit the 412. And the reason we hit that area and stopped is because it's right in the middle of this cluster of where we topped out at the 418. Hence why if we break this, well, since we did break this 411, we're at 412 now, we should go up and see that 415. There's really nothing there to stop it. We might have a little halt up about 413, but from 413 all the way to 415, it's almost just clear selling. Until the RSI is at a 63, we got a little room to run before we get real overextended and stretched out, but we'll just have to see what the volume is when it opens up. We are super bullish on this, man. We have room to run to the upside. We have a little bit left on the RSI. The 50 and the 13 have crossed. The only thing that I don't like so far is that the 200-day and the 50-day haven't turned up yet, but it's going to take a couple days. These need to get stretched out and actually get the new volume to come in order to move these lines. So we'll see how that sets up. Generally speaking, though, when we have a setup of white, blue, red, that's the perfect setup. That's what we want. That's an indicator of a bull or bullish momentum anyways. So we're going to be watching it. I do think we'll, at some point in time, touch that 415 within the next 2 days. We'll see, man.
So I have something kind of interesting I saw this on the Reddit post from Wall Street Bets.
Yeah. And
it was saying how on in 08, before the big crash, how SPY had pumped up like 13%. So I kind of went back to do the TA on this on the weekly.
Yep.
In 08. So back in March of 08, it was sitting around 127 and it pumped back up to 144. So it went up like a little over 13%.
Yep.
And in May, that's when the crash happened. So March started coming back up towards the end of March. And then it failed in May and it just complete
tumble.
Blow up. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of sounds similar to all of our predictions of what could be happening here.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty interesting.
Good TA, bro. Good TA. Good find. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Yeah, I know me and April been talking about that for a while too. We were talking last year where we thought we was doing the cycle count of when the first slippage started and then how many days the bull run and the bear run or bull cycle, bear cycle type thing. So yeah, Waters is right there. I know Gonzo's right there. They're talking about Moose. I know you were talking about the other day too. Everything's lining up, man. It's just it's crazy. All right.
There is.
I like that analysis, fam. I like that analysis. All right, let's check out Tesla real quick and see what we got.
Be prepared for anything.
Facts, man. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. We did have a nice little pop up. Where are we at right now? Tesla. 412.70. I don't know. I say, damn, that took a nice run. All right, we're at the 196. That thing took a nice little crap, didn't it? On the flex grid, as long as we can stay off of that 192 area, that's going to be our main support right here. So if you want to trade Tesla, as long as we don't crack that 192, you can put some calls in and just play this channel between puts and calls. You're running right in the middle right now with the VWAP. But anytime it gets separated, it's eventually going to come back. This time, it kind of met in the middle. Volume came and the VWAP came at the same time. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. On the flex, though, yeah, on the 13-day, I have the 13-day right at 193.02. So you really don't want to crack that area. 192 is bad enough, but you don't want to crack the 193 and get any lower if you're playing, because then you will definitely see the 189s, I feel. And if it gets a really sharp drop, you're going to see the 183. You don't want to ride that ride. That's an expensive ride, man. Any questions before we move on? Before we get this thing started? All right, bring y'all's head back over.
Did you go over the fear and greed index or?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I was in la la land.
You throwing logs on the fire? I don't think I missed anything.
No, I don't think so.
No. Well, Kyle, what's Bitcoin at right now? I didn't even check it this morning. Oh, I got you on here.
I didn't go look at it real quick. I know that we were kind of hitting some resistance levels and getting some pullbacks on.
I know
everything.
Ethereum's at 1869 right now. That was a nice little pop up. We were sitting a little 1700 something last night when I was looking. XRP dropped down to 50 cents. At 53 cents was a crucial area we needed to stay, but I don't think it's going to hurt. As long as we don't start popping in them 40s, we should be all right. Quant sitting at 125. I'm still DCAing into Quant. All right, man. I think that's a wrap for today's morning market in minutes. That seemed kind of quick. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick and informative look into the financial markets. Remember to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis by visiting our website at 3T and following us on social media. A big thank you to our host, Double Bottom Trades, for bringing us the best in trading strategies and techniques. And until next time, if you don't have access to Discord, I'm going to get Dustin to post the Discord link into the chats here on the Zoom call. Go check us out on Discord. A bunch of free stuff is out there. Those that are going to be in boot camp, coming up, we'll have information on there for you as well. So that way, if something happens in Mighty or something, you guys can connect on Discord. But that's a wrap.